And what is up, everybody? I got my tap out shirt on, and it's to talk about this past UFC. Just finished watching it. Um, it's pretty late. It's 3:43 a.m. in the morning. I just got home, and gonna post up the review of what happened. Didn't see any. I saw one prelim fight with the two girls, and I don't know either of their names, but a girl got nasty cut. I mean, literally like a slice right in the center of her forehead. Blood looked like she was face painted, like war paint type deal. And what winds up happening with her is she catches the other girl in the nasty bulldog choke, choked the girl out, and won the fight. It was awesome. But they played that at the end, and the first three fights were very good. The lightweight bout that they had, like I don't know the names of either of the guys. It's just that one guy is a soldier. I was really rooting for him, but unfortunately, he lost via submission in the second round. Then I forget his name. His last name is Duffy. He fought in UFC before. Very talented heavyweight, and he had been out of UFC for a while. I think he came back. I don't know if this was his first fight back, but came in, knocked dude out, and knocked his opponent out in the first round. Great. Then it was Brandon Schaub versus Travis Brown, and Travis Brown basically just demolished him. In the first round, there was 10 seconds left, and ref had to stop it. Basically, Travis Brown had him in the stand-up. Schaub tried, desperately to try to take him down. Did a couple times, but could not hold him down. And in doing so, he was just burning up so much energy, trying to hold him down. Lo and behold, his efforts were in vain, unfortunately. Then the co-main event of the evening for the lightweight title, Gilbert Melendez versus Anthony Pettis. Wow. Gilbert Melendez, great wrestler, great jiu-jitsu fighter, very aggressive. He did it, he showed that style against Diego Sanchez, against Benson Henderson, and it didn't fare so well for him against Benson Henderson, but against him and Diego Sanchez, basically won the first two rounds of their fight. If Diego Sanchez would have fought the way he did in the third round, the first two rounds, Melendez would have lost, and maybe it would have been Diego Sanchez versus Anthony Pettis. But that's neither here nor there, because now what happens is in the first round, Melendez pressing him up against the cage, trying to take him down. They took him down a couple times, and you can see how much energy he's just burning up all this energy trying to be able to take him down. And obviously Pettis was putting up entirely too much. Not that much, yet entirely too much. Just effortlessly standing up, slipping the legs, and then once he'd get the distance, bam, tag him with a jag, tag him with a cross, catch him with a kick, nasty roundhouse kicks to the body, a couple of head kicks. Just played with him for the first round. Then of course in the second round, by this time he's so tired, he's slipping off no problem. Then out of nowhere, he pushed, Melendez had him pressed up against the cage. Slowly but surely, he's pushing his head down because, he reached entirely too low. Pushes his head down, catches him at an angle, catches him with a nasty arm-in guillotine, rolls him over on his back. So Anthony Pettis is sitting on him with an arm-in guillotine, and Melendez tapped out in the second round. That's using your head. That's what Royce Gracie was notorious for in the first four UFC tournaments. He was notorious for just having guys just blow their whole load of whatever strength they had. It's like he said in Ultimate Royce Gracie. He's like, I'm patient and I'm stubborn. It's like I'm not gonna let you win, but I'll wait here all day if I have to. And yeah, and pretty much that's more or less what happened. I didn't think that Gilbert Melendez would burn out so quickly, but just goes to show you. And finally, the main events of the evening, which is Johnny Hendricks versus Robbie Lawler. Now, first time I commented on it, I think I was wearing this shirt, as a matter of fact. First time I commented on this was before the fight even happened. It was like 2 days before the fight happened, and I said my predictions, and I don't think any of them came true. I don't think any of them came true. But this is why I didn't make any predictions with this one. But I especially thought that Hendricks was probably going to win again, because the last fight they were injured, and when they first go for the stare down, Robbie Lawler is just dead set on just knocking you could see he's dead set on knocking Hendricks' head off. And Hendricks, it's one thing to to be calm under pressure, but I could almost look at it as like, and then he even said it in one of the interviews, like, I already beat him, I don't have anything to prove. Dude, yes you do got something to prove. You got to prove that, one, that wasn't a fluke, and two, there's a reason why you're supposed to be champion. Because I was shocked. The majority of the fight, Hendricks was winning, but Hendricks didn't want to. It didn't look like he wanted to stand toe to toe with him. Granted, he was getting some of the better of the exchanges, and would hold Robbie Lawler up against the cage. Now, Rashad Evans beat Quentin Jackson that way, even though in the third round, basically just pressed him up against and held him there the entire time, because he didn't want to get hit by Rampage, and it showed him in the third round when they fought. Almost got knocked out, but unfortunately Rampage didn't finish, and that was his fault. Then so he just keeps trying to press him up against the cage, but every time they get space, Lawler would tag him, catch him with a couple combos, nice head kicks, face kick, and especially by the end of the fourth round, I was shocked, because Hendricks is on the ground and holding on, and Robbie Lawler is reaching in, punching him in the head from underneath, but there was less than a minute left on the clock. Anybody else would have stopped it, but there was so much time left. And it didn't even look like Hendricks was trying to defend. And then when the buzzer sounds, Hendricks just stands right back up, goes back to his corner. But then in the fifth round, keeps trying to do the same thing, pressing Robbie Lawler up against the cage. This time there was a lot more time left. Robbie starts throwing elbows to the head, elbows to the side, punching, kick. When he stands up, just unloads. Saw an opening and just unloaded the biggest combinations of punches and kicks on him until the bell finally rang, and he still had enough rage left to knock this dude's head off while this dude's walking away. But for the first time in the UFC, Johnny Hendricks was bloody. Yes, somebody finally cut Johnny Hendricks open. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And so people were asking me. I was like, this is probably because Lawler was the one that finished strong. And in Pride, that's normally what would matter. And Robbie Lawler would be declared the winner. And people were asking me, like, who do you think it is? I said to myself, it's probably going to go split decision, but in Hendricks' favor. But then I saw something interesting. See, normally Dana White stands to the side with the belt, and he's gonna give the belt to the winner of the fight. But Matt Hughes was standing right next to him. Matt Hughes, former UFC welterweight champion, former teammate of Robbie Lawler when they both fought in the Miletich camp. Pat Miletich was also in the crowd. Pat Miletich being UFC's first welterweight champion. You know, all of it. I see Matt Hughes there, and Michael Buffer says, judge a score, whatever. Lawler judge this guy scores, whatever to Hendricks, and Judge scores at 49-46, declaring the winner by split decision. And new UFC welterweight champion Matt Hughes grabs the belt and puts it on his old teammate Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler, I've mentioned the fact, Icon Pro Sport middleweight champion, beat Murillo Ninja Hua for the Elite XC middleweight title, defended the belt a couple of times. Elite XC went bankrupt, unfortunately. Didn't necessarily do too well in Strike Force, but then comes into the UFC and just starts wrecking cats left and right. Loses the first fight against Hendricks because Hendricks just had that much more left in the tank. This time it seemed like Robbie Lawler forced the fight wasn't nowhere near as exciting as the first time, but Robbie Lawler basically forced Hendricks to basically blow his load too early, and Robbie Lawler capitalized on it. And you know what? A lot of people might be upset about that. Even the crowd I was with, they were upset because they wanted Hendricks to win. But I've been watching Robbie Lawler for a very long time, and even though it was a split decision, even I thought could have gone to Hendricks. Robbie Lawler deserves every ounce of gold on that belt. He's been in there for so long, man. He absolutely deserves it. It's something he could have gone for. He should have been able to go for, but couldn't because his teammate was the welterweight champion. Now that his teammate's retired, he finally got the opportunity and he took it, and he's going. And honest to God, don't think maybe one title defense he might have in him. He might lose the belt immediately. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's going down in history as a UFC welterweight champion, and nobody is ever going to be able to take that away from him. And it was like I'm absolutely happy for him. No ifs, ands, or buts. He deserves it. And from what I understand, this is UFC's last pay-per-view till the new year, where it's gonna be Jones versus Cormier. I've already expressed my thoughts about that, and you guys, for those of you who didn't see it, obviously this is the spoiler. This is a review. Those of you who have seen it, let me know what you thought of the fights, and I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.